Antonio, and welcome to the Happy Handyman Show. I'm Trudy Chuoke, broadcasting live from Johnnie Chuoke's Home and Hardware. Going to be here for the next half hour to talk about so many good projects. Let me tell you, my page runneth over. I will probably run out of time, but let me tell you where we're located. We're located at 2361 Northwest Military Highway. The phone number here is 210-341-1573. The store is going to be open until 6:30 today, and tomorrow, for your convenience, 11 to 5. We will be open on the 4th of July, our regular hours. So if you have some time off and you want to do some projects in between cooking hamburgers and stuff like that, well, come on, we're going to be open, be happy to help you. Now, if you also are on Facebook, you can find the show out on Facebook. Just go to Johnnie Chuoke's Home and Hardware, and you will find us streaming live out there right now at the same time we're doing the show. Sometimes if we go a little long, we'll go out on Facebook. So if you're watching out there, you might see a longer show out there. Let me see, was there something? Oh, and we also have a website where you'll see an article out there weekly. Lots of times I talk in more depth out there on the article about some things that we discuss here on the radio show. You can always email me from out there. You can see all of our products that I talk about, and if you don't live in San Antonio or you just need it delivered to your house, you can do that with a real click, 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 and it goes right to your front door. All right, so let me tell you about some of the exciting things that we got going on. I've got new things in hardware, things that are back in stock, new items in gift, and that's what I want to talk about first, because I've never seen an item like this before. I just got back from market in Dallas, and they make tons of jewelry cleaners, tons of them, but none of them that they say you keep your jewelry on while you clean. And it's called shinery. And why can you keep your jewelry on? Because it has a specially formulated with glycerin, leaving your skin soft and moisturized. Well, that got me right then, because how many times have you held your jewelry in your hand, holding it over the sink, and it drops out of your hand and your life flashes before your very eyes and you think, oh no. Well, now you just keep it on. You want to spray the shinery on. It comes with this little brush, and you brush it in and you get your hands all nice and clean at the same time. So it's the coolest thing ever. I want you to come by and take a look at it in the store. It's going to be in the gift shop. We've got some new apparel, some great stuff for 4th of July. Nice and cool and comfortable, and so come on in and take a look at that. And like I said, we're going to be open on the 4th if you want to come on by. All right, now new things in hardware. All right, so we have a brand new line. I mean, not just one thing, but a whole new line of bird seed. Why, you ask me? Well, because do it the best stock bird seed line. I don't know why. And so we went out and we really researched. We went to places that just sell feed and stuff, so feed stores, and one of the managers was very kind to me and gave me a whole list of what to use here down in South Texas, some great ones. And guess what? They're located right here in San Antonio. So I didn't have to bring in like a pallet of birdseed. I could get just what y'all need, you know, just a little bit at a time. But we've got all kinds of special seed. One is one that says sizzling heat. And that's the one, like if you have a problem with squirrels and stuff always eating at your feeders, and you don't want to buy one of those expensive feeders that cost about $120 to keep the squirrels out, you just put this feed in there called sizzling heat, and the squirrels don't like it. Birds, doesn't bother the birds, they love it. Evidently they like salsa. And then we have one for just specifically cardinals, finches, a fruit and berry one that's good for a bunch of different birds. And then we also have this one I thought was very unique. It's called Deck and Porch, And what it is it's considered a zero waste bird seed. So there's not a lot of little things in it. And so the birds won't leave a mess if you want to have them, your bird feeders on your deck. So it's just something that new for us. We really want to expand this line because my customers like it. They like to see their birds. I do too. This was the first year I've ever put out bird feeders, and I just love the way they kind of zoom in and zoom out. Really cool. And it makes a great gift. Okay. All right, so back in stock, we have Fresh Cube. How many of you are familiar with Fresh Cube? We talked about it maybe a couple of months ago, and the minute I brought it in, we were sold out, and then Do It Best was sold out, and I couldn't get it back in, so I couldn't talk about it. And Fresh Cube is this, it keeps your produce fresh in the refrigerator. And I'm not just talking a couple of days fresh. I'm talking about 2 weeks fresh. I have a science experiment going on in my refrigerator, and I have a bag of lettuce, and it's been in there 2.5 weeks, and it is not turned brown, and it looks, I mean, you could eat it. And so if you have a problem with keeping your produce fresh in your refrigerator, and you've tried all those other things, the mats, the bags, the liners, because I have tried them all. And what happens is I get really busy at the store, and all of a sudden I'm here till 7:30 at night. And then when I get home, I don't want to take the time to make a big meal. And so I'll just nuke something up real quick, and I won't eat a lot of fruits and vegetables that I normally would have if I got home in a certain time. So I spend a lot of money on fruits and vegetables. Are you like that? And then 2 weeks goes by, and I look, and I'm throwing it all out. I'm going back to the grocery store to replace it. Not now. I mean, this thing is the real deal. It's called Fresh Cube. You get 2 of them, and they last for 90 days. So a 2-pack will give you, do the math, 6 months. So this is really, really great. Now, another thing that we have been out of, and now we're back in stock, and this guy can't keep up with the demand. I mean, Morgan's Repellent. It's a mice, rat, and squirrel. Well, I'm gonna test this on a raccoon. I got a raccoon living underneath my deck, and as cute as he is, I don't want him staying there. So I'm gonna try the Morgan's Repellent on him also. I'm thinking he won't like the smell of this. If you're not familiar with the Morgan's Repellent, those of you that are watching out on Facebook, I'm going to show you the packaging right now. The packaging's going to change. So when we get the new stuff, it'll hang. But it's this container, and if you jiggle it, maybe you can hear that, it's got little pumice stones all on the inside of it. And these pumice stones are infused with about 5 different, like peppermint oil, cinnamon oil, clove oil, cedar oil, garlic oil, and rosemary oil. Okay, and all there, he has 3 different scents. They're pretty much all the same. It's just like this one's called a sweet smell, and so it might have a little more clove oil in it. The garlic one is very strong garlic, but let me tell you, this stuff really works. And I will tell you a little testimony about this. Okay, you hear me talking about that now we have bird seed and bird feed in. Do you know that we could never have that at the store? Never, never, never. Because we never had any problem with rodents. Never saw it. But if I brought in bird seed, they were just waving at me on the shelf. And I don't like that. And so, and I don't like especially traps and glues and all that kind of stuff. I would just like to discourage them, you know, like bad breath does, okay? All right, so we brought the Morgans in, and he told me how to take care of it. You put some in the warehouse. He told me, put some in your warehouse, and you don't put it flat on the ground. You put it up about 3 foot, because you do not want to discourage them to go out. And if you have it flat on the ground, well, they'll smell it and they'll like go crazy and won't know what to do. And you don't want them going crazy inside your warehouse. So I put it up about 4 foot, and then In my birdseed area, I put it right on the shelf, and I have never seen anything. Was the most amazing things. We tried it for 2 weeks. He gave me free stuff to try, and I tried it for 2 weeks. I called him and I said, I want tons of this stuff, because rats and mice can do so much damage. I had a car one time, well, I still have that car, and I had rats got into my garage because my husband had passed away, and little did I know he had bought a bag of grass seed, because we had planned on reseeding the back. Well, he passed away real quick, and so I didn't know this bag was back there. And then all of a sudden, one day, I saw some little mice going in. And so I had to we did not have anything like this back then. And so I had to have somebody come in, because I was really close to having mice in the house. And so what else happened is they did damage. They went up inside the engine of my car and chewed on the wires. It cost me $2,500. After every time I go, well, why am I having problems with this? Why am I having problems with that? Here's rats. So if you, don't ever leave grass seed in your garage. It's just asking for trouble. You got to put it up and put it in a trash can and make sure. But the Morgan's repellent, like I said, it really does a good job. So when you come into the store, come and find me, and I'll tell you how to use it in your house. Now, another thing that we are back in stock on is this new great custom Rust-Oleum spray paint. And what do I mean by custom? I don't mean color. I mean the spray nozzle on it. It's amazing. When I first saw this at the Do It Best show, I just thought, okay, that's a different nozzle, and if it gets clogged, you just move it to the next one, and then move it to the next one. No, that's not what it was. It was, you could spray in, it would go vertical, it would go horizontal. There was a low output one for small items, so you wouldn't get like big drips on it. There was a big wide spray for things that are circular, so like pots and things like that. And then there's just a regular one if you just want to spray regular. But we have all this back in stock, and the Rust-Oleum they did is the stop rust, so you could use it outside on metal, on furniture, on anything. So we got some great colors. Come by and take a look at that. It's the most innovative thing I've seen in spray paint, and it's not any more expensive than just a regular spray paint, maybe 50 cents. Okay. Another thing that we're back in stock with is the Pretty Boy brush cleaner. Why Pretty Boy? Well, it does an excellent job of removing paint. Have you ever bought a really great paintbrush and you get done that night and you're tired and you say, okay, I'm going to clean this up, and you walk in the house and you eat and you forget about your paintbrush, because that has happened to me, okay, and I buy expensive paintbrushes. So Pretty Boy, and there's sometimes, even if it's latex, you cannot get that paint out. So Pretty Boy, they showed it to me, and it was amazing. And it does more than just a paint cleaner. If you use it with your hands, okay? And so most paint and removers and stuff like that for your brushes, it's way too harsh for your hands. But this does a really good job, and it's super reasonably priced. And not only that, it's a cleaner. You can use it to clean like the walls and stuff like that if you're prepping them for something. And then also, if you want to remove wallpaper, you put like about let's see, half of a tablespoon, no, a couple of tablespoons, and put it in water and spritz the wallpaper. And always use a paper tiger, because that'll put perforated holes in everything, and that'll get back behind it. But this stuff is really good, super reasonable, and it's not very caustic. Okay, how many of you have fire ants in the yard right now? We've had it rain, and now the ants are popping up all over the place. So what do you want to use? My suggestion is Amdro. Amdro does an excellent job at fire ants. and you literally just sprinkle it over there, and within 2 days, it destroys the mouth, okay? Now, if you don't have fire ants, if you just have regular ants, you want to get rid of those too. I mean, yes, they're a pest if you walk into them. Yes, they will bite. But they will also kill your grass. Wherever they are, they just kill the grass. And so you want to take care of them. And you'll always see them like right beside the sidewalk. Or if you have a piece of your sidewalk that is broken or something like that, they always come up there. They're just a pain in the neck. So Amdro also makes one called Ant Block. And you, same thing, you sprinkle it on, and within 2 days, they're gone, they're dead. You'll hit them and you don't see any activity. So remember, Amdro is what you want to use. Now, what about mosquitoes outside? Something that is real quick that will get rid of mosquitoes immediately, not too much residual because it's just too hot outside. Hi Jean, how you doing? Thanks for being a part of the show. Is the one called Mosquito Beater. And it's made by Bonide. They make great products. You just hook it up to your hose, start in the back of the yard, and work your way back to the hose. And as soon as it's dry, it's safe. I mean, I did my yard, and it does a great job. Like it's great for like if you're getting ready to have a party the next day, and you want to spray and make sure you don't have any mosquitoes out. Because if you haven't taken care of the yard, putting up a Dynatrap and putting up a Spartan mosquito eradicator, well, they do not work overnight, okay? Those are a thing that takes time. They do a great job. They'll get rid of about 80 to 85% of the mosquitoes in your backyard, but they do take time. So if you are getting ready for a party, like for the 4th, and you want to make sure you don't have any mosquitoes in the backyard, use the mosquito beater. I like the one that hooks up to the hose so I can just spray. Now, if you have some areas that you like to work, or you have fountains and things like that, and you notice mosquitoes around like that, you want to use the mosquito bits. They're really great. They're not harmful to anybody, or pets or anything, because you can sprinkle it in your garden area. Like if you like to work in your garden and the soil is most moist and you get a lot of mosquitoes up for that, then this is really great to use. But what if you're going to have a party, okay, and you've done the mosquito beater in the yard? What about something else? All right, Lamberger. How many of you are familiar with Lamberger? They're really top quality fragrance lamps, but they do so much more than that. They clean the air. I mean, that's how it even started. They were in hospital rooms, and they would burn them in the hospital rooms back before we had all of that kind of stuff that electronically cleans the air, and they would burn them in there because it would clean the air. But they also make one called Summer Nights. It's a clear oil that you burn in a Lamberger. You can't burn it in anything else, okay? Maybe a Lucky Doll lamp, but I recommend use Lamberger oil in Lamberger lamps. And put it out about 20 minutes before you're going to go outside. And then when you go outside, it can sit right on the table, and then it'll keep a perimeter of about 8 feet nice and clean. Maybe you're going to sit in your spa. Just put it out close to the spa, and then you won't have any mosquitoes there. Now, if you don't have a Lamberger lamp, that Tiki makes great little torch lamps that are pretty to look at. The one I'm holding up on Facebook is purple, and it's got kind of a bubble finish to it. These are gorgeous. And you can use the regular Tiki oil in it. The bite fighter will also rid the area of mosquitoes. They also have just regular oil, but I don't see any reason to do that. But the bite fighter is a proven mosquito repellent. So those are really good. All right, so I have a couple of questions real quick. The first one is, I have a friend that's trying to spruce up her house. The lower part of the front door has been faded by the sun. What can they do to even up the color? This one's super easy. Hi Karen, how you doing? I hope you got your stuff in the mail. Trying to spruce up a house. Yes, okay. So that's a question that they wrote in also. What can they do? Use the Restore Finish. I'm assuming your door is stained, okay? You want to use the Restore Finish in the color that is closest to the door, and you just go over all of it, almost like if you were staining the door. And it will even up all the color on the door. And then for the all over the door, after you get done, use a product called Sun Shield. That is a feed and wax sister product that has a UV protectant in it. In fact, if you are doing a door and you really don't have a lot of fading on the door, maybe it just looks dry, then the sun, it's not called Sun Shield. See, that used to be called Sun Wax. And so then they changed the name to Sun Shield. And Sun Shield will definitely, it'll deepen the color of the door, and it will protect it from the UV that your door gets as the sun goes down. Now, if you have a painted door and you have fading and stuff at the bottom, the only thing to do is sand it and repaint, okay? Now, so this is the Sun Shield I'm showing people on Facebook right now. And it smells real good, thank you. And it has beeswax, orange oil with a UV protector. You can also use it on your teak furniture, any of your wood furniture outside. Now, the next thing is I had a lady come in and her grandson had bought a car out on, oh, you're welcome, out on CarMax, or that one that looks like a bubblegum machine, okay? And she said, you have a week to decide whether you really want the car or not. And so when he got the car, he loved it, opened the doors, and evidently the previous owner had been a smoker. And she said, it is horrible. And they tried Febreze, and they tried a couple other things. And so what did I suggest? An air sponge. An air sponge is a little container that kind of looks like what you get sour cream in, but when you open it up, it's a gel that's infused with charcoal. It kind of smells like soap, and you just put it underneath the seat. Open it up and put it underneath the seat. And what it does is it goes up into the air and it grabs all these smoke molecules and brings them down to the floor. And then when you clean your car, you just clean it all up. But it will immediately, I mean immediately, take care of the odor in the car. Now, that's for the air. What about for the seats, the headliner, the carpets? For that, you want to use BioZap. I've never seen anything like it. It is the best. It's super safe. It's a spray that is an odor neutralizer, just like the air sponge, and you can spray it all over everything. So I suggested, like I said, the headliner, the carpets. I even suggested the trunk, spray the trunk too. So if you have a car that's got a lingering odor, maybe someone didn't smoke in your car, but that person smokes, and then when they get in your car, their clothes kind of reek, and that will just kind of stay out there. So, all right, so let's talk about nothing else. Okay, so let me tell you where we're located again. We're at 2361 Northwest Military Highway. The phone number here is 210-341-1573. For those of you that are watching on Facebook, hang on, we're going to continue the show out on Facebook. And then that's it for this week, folks. It's time for you to roll up your sleeves and get busy on some of these projects we've been talking about. But by all means, you remember one thing. It will always be a great day to paint. See you next week. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to continue on Facebook for just a little bit longer because I had some things that I wanted to talk to you about. Let me turn off the radio, though. Okay, all right. I had a bunch of people come in this week, and they're all asking me about cleaning their windows and what can they do to clean their windows. If it's just dust and dirt, there are things like Krud Kutter, and also Zep makes one too. Zep is a little bit less expensive than Krud Kutter, but they're right along the same kind of quality together. So Krud Kutter, and all it does is it hooks up to your hose. This is the most important thing that you need to remember. Do it in the cool of the morning, because if the glass is hot, the product dries quickly, and that's not what you want. You want your windows to do like what Jet Dry does in your dishwasher, which is a sheeting action, and so it goes down like this and leaves no spots behind. And that's what these window washes do. So like I said, do it in the cool of the morning. Don't start it at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The glass is just too hot. You could cool the glass down in the morning if you think it's even too hot in the morning. Cool the glass down a little bit with your garden hose and do that. But everything you need is going to be on this. You hook it up to your hose, and then it has off and then clean on here, and then rinse. So you can do everything that you need to with this. It'll clean about 18 windows. If you have a second story, then it will also reach to the second story. Now, but what if your windows have hard water spots on them from your sprinkler system that splashes up on them and then leaves hard water spots? Because that's what it'll do in the long run. How do you get that off? Well, no window wash, whether it's Krud Kutter or Zep or any of them, will get off a hard water stain. You have to have a little bit of an acid to do that. And the Delete Germ, a lot of you know that I talk about Delete Germ as a toilet bowl cleaner. And the reason it works so well in the toilet bowl is because it will destroy hard water, okay? It just breaks it up, and it cleans your toilet from the inside out. It'll get rid of the ring that's around the toilet bowl, and it just does a really good job, and it smells nice. I had a lady that came in earlier, and her plumber told her to put muriatic acid in her toilet. It's just, you don't have to get to that point to where you use muriatic acid in your toilet unless you're using a safe muriatic acid like Acid Magic. Okay, that's completely buffered. It doesn't have much of a smell and about 90% less fumes. But that's not what he was saying. He just said, dump it in there and it'll get rid of it. Yes, it will. But there's sometimes when you don't want to use that, especially if you don't have any venting in your bathroom, okay? So you use Delete Germ. It's a really good product. And if you have, like say you have a rental property and maybe they haven't taken care of the toilets very well, and you have a really hard water stain that, you know, is like 1/4 of an inch thick, and that can happen, especially if the toilet's not flushed very often. Okay, this little thing is like magic. It's called a Flexi Scour. We've had it for about maybe 12 years. A guy came in and he talked to my dad, and he wanted to know, why don't you have this stuff? And we weren't familiar with it. We carried like the pummy things, and this is made by the exact same pummy people. But this is what's so cool about this. Okay, because this is his problem. He had rental property, and the people didn't take care of the toilets, and he was always trying to get the toilets clean. All right, it's a screening material. Okay, can you see that? And it's infused with pumice, but it's flexible. So how many of you are when you look at pumice stones and things like that, they're always what? Square, right? Anything in my toilet's not square, it's round. And so this is a product that will go in all the curves of your toilet and up in the little jets and things like that, and really remove the hard water. Now, the only thing you need to remember about this is you have to wear gloves, because it will totally destroy your fingernails, and but it will take care of any hard water in there. Especially this is really good like for people that can't handle any kind of chemical. This is good. But back to my point, how do you get the hard water off the windows? Delete germ. But you need to be very careful. Okay. When you use it on, because you can use it on your glass shower door, and you can use it on your window glass. But you have to put a stream on, make sure it's same thing. Do it in the cool of the morning. Put it on your window, and then use like a Scotch-Brite green scrubby sponge, and you start cleaning, okay? You have a hose right there that's running. And then once you get the hard water off and the stains, then you clean your window with, and rinse it with clear water. And just overdo it, because the last thing you want to do is leave any kind of residue of a delete germ on your window, because if you do, it might etch it. I'm not saying it will, but it might, because it's an acid, okay? Now, floors. People have been asking me about floors a lot. I don't know if it's because maybe people are selling their houses right now and they're trying to spruce things up so that it looks good. And we just have so much hardwood and laminate and vinyl. So what do you use? Okay, first of all, Quick Shine makes a cleaner, and it is in a blue bottle, and it is so neutral. This is what's so good. It's so neutral, you don't even have to rinse it. You just squirt it on and you clean, and that's it. But then if you want to, oh, and they also make, I brought this up here, they make a disinfecting one. So maybe in your bathrooms, or maybe you have a business and you want to clean the bathrooms and make sure they're real clean, especially maybe in the men's bathroom. This Quick Shine disinfectant is really good, and it cleans really well. I need to see if this one has to be rinsed. I don't think so. I still don't think you have to rinse it. You might want to. I'll look that up. Sorry. All right. But how many of you then want your floor finish on your wood floors? If you have older wood floors, the Quick Shine in the green bottle, it does a lot to disguise surface scratches and inconsistencies in color. It's just like this miracle in a bottle. I've never seen anything like Quick Shine. And it has this nice fragrance. It's so easy to apply, and this is the best part. Because I can remember when I was a little girl, my mom would wax her floors. She waxed everything. If it was vinyl, she waxed it. If it was wood, she waxed it. And she had one of those old buffers, do you remember the kind? And it had the two wheels in the bottom of it, and she would have me stand on it so that when she would buff, it would really do good. I thought it was just playing a game. And so, but you don't have to do that anymore. The Quick Shine multi-surface floor finish. It will give you a shine on the floor from the first coat. Now, if you want something a little deeper than that, just keep adding coats. And then you never have to strip it off. That, I don't know how people do that. That is major labor intensive. But you just put it on, and when it's not as shiny as you like it, just add another coat, and it all melts into each other, and so it looks great. That is for older floors. The newer floors don't exactly, they're not a high shine. They're more of a matte finish. Well, Quick Shine comes to the rescue here. It's a hardwood floor luster. This is what I use on my new floors, and I love it. It smells clean, it goes on easily. I put on about 3 coats, and I'm good for almost 3 months. And then after that, I put on a couple of coats. All I have to do is dust and clean, and that's it. And it is absolutely beautiful. It will make your wood floors look so good, and it's so easy. So easy. The only thing you want to remember is that you use a microfiber pad, and this microfiber pad needs to be a clean one. You can't have used it to clean with soap and water and then use it with your quick shine, okay? That's all you need to remember about it. All right, that's it for this week. We're gonna do some fun stuff. We're starting to get in some things from Dallas Market, and so this next week we're gonna try to do some, if we still have, we've been selling apparel like crazy here. We're gonna try to do a little style show. I'm gonna show you the new jewelry that we got in. It's really, really pretty. And then of course we're gonna be showing the new shinery. We'll show you how well it does. And then we'll just show you the new stuff as it comes in. I bought a lot of stuff at Dallas Market, and so it's gonna make the gift shop. Oh, and we have a new line that I brought in. We never brought it in before. It's absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to tell you about it. Okay? All right. I'll see you next week, guys. If you want to come by the store, we're located at 2361 Northwest Military Highway, and the phone number here is 210-341-1573. You guys take care. See you next time.